Alright, so in exercise 53, we are given the question. Sine of angle t is negative 1 over 4, and angle t is in the third quadrant. Finding cosine of angle t. Let's come over to our unit circle over here. Quadrant 3 is this bottom left area of the unit circle, and what you'll notice is that cosine and sine of our angle are going to be negative. So coming back to the question, sine is negative, which checks out. But more importantly, it's going to direct us into the direction of getting our answer. Or in other words, cosine is going to be negative when we get the answer. Coming back to the unit circle, we have some key aspects. So the radius is equal to 1 at any point on the unit circle. So say we're over here. The distance from that point to the origin over here, 0, 0, is going to be 1. As long as you're on the unit circle, the distance from there to the origin is going to be 1. Remember, cosine is the x-coordinate and sine is the y-coordinate. Also, don't remember your 3 basic trig ratios, so SOHCAHTOA. Sine is your opposite over your hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Coming back to this question, the way that we're going to solve this, and the thing that this question points us in the direction to, is that we're going to be using the Pythagorean identity. Sine squared of theta plus cosine squared of theta is equal to 1. This is basically just referring to the unit circle and how basically it's very closely related to the Pythagorean theorem, but not exactly. The hypotenuse is 1. And we have, in the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. C squared, the length of your hypotenuse, directly relates to this 1 squared, which is equal to 1. So now that we have identified this Pythagorean identity over here, let's input the value sine of angle t is equal to negative 1 over 4. So we're going to do negative 1 over 4 squared. Excuse my awful handwriting with this mouse. Negative 1 over 4 squared plus cosine squared of t is equal to 1. Negative 1 over 4 squared is going to be 1 over 16 plus cosine squared of t is equal to 1. If we subtract 1/16th from each side, this cancels, so we essentially isolate cosine squared of t. It's equal to 1 minus 1 over 16, which is going to be 15 over 16. Now we can take the square root of both sides. When you take a square root, don't forget your plus or minus. And now we can simplify both sides. Cosine of t, square root of 16 is equal to 4, so cosine of t is equal to the, cosine of t is equal to plus or minus square root of 15 over 4. Now coming back to the question, remember we talked about the importance of how the angle t is in the third quadrant down over here. Basically, since we have a plus or minus, cosine cannot be positive in this case because again, we're in the third quadrant. Cosine is only positive in the first and the fourth quadrant over there. So our final answer for cosine of angle t is going to be equal to negative square root of 15 over 4. This whole question is basically just relating the Pythagorean identity to finding out or missing either cosine or sine. In this case, we did not know what cosine was, but we knew what sine was, so we were able to find out what cosine was, which is negative root 15 over 4.